Tom Kamber is the executive director of Older Adults Technology Services from AARP. He joins us this morning here on Jersey Magazine to talk about the upcoming 5-day Digital Housecleaning Challenge. That's quite a mouthful. Tom, tell us about it and where did the idea come from?
Well, thanks for having me here. We started by doing a survey recently of folks asking what they were doing with precious and critical documents that they might be storing on the internet and whether or not they're using good passwords and what kind of tools they're using. And we were a little bit surprised to hear that people over 50, when we asked them what they're doing, aren't doing a lot. Over 60% said that they haven't been saving any of their critical documents online. And when we asked why, they said it's because they weren't sure how to do it or they just hadn't gotten around to it yet. So we saw that as a real kind of an opportunity to do some good out here. And we created this 5-day digital house cleaning challenge, kind of like spring cleaning where you clean out your closet, but more focused on the digital stuff. So getting people to think about all those things that you might have been putting off, but we can help you do them. They're not that difficult. And we really feel like we can help people get a little bit more organized and more secure.
You start off secure is a good way to start because you actually start the 5-day challenge with privacy and the importance of that for people.
That's right. The 5-day challenge is organized in simple, what I think of it as bite-sized pieces. It's stuff that we don't assume any technology expertise here, so it should be fairly easy for folks. And the first thing that we focus on is that privacy thing. When you bring new apps onto your phone, when you load a new app on a phone or a device, that app comes with permissions that are usually organized around information sharing. And in many cases, they're taking your information and they're tracking it. They're tracking where you're using the phone and the device. They're tracking some of the settings that you're using. They can track your contacts if they have permissions in there. And many of us haven't really spent the time to look at what's on the phone and make sure those are controlled. So the first day walks you through how to open up the permissions on your phone and just see which ones are using what. And most of the time, you're going to be turning off a lot of those permissions and saying, no, you cannot track me unless I'm using that particular app in that moment. And it gives you a lot more control and a lot more privacy than you might have had without taking that step.
I think we have all had that moment where you're in a conversation with someone, not on your phone, but just happen to be speaking with someone. The next thing you know, you open your phone up, maybe go to one of the social media sites, and you see an advertisement for whatever it was that you were talking about.
That's exactly right. I do some woodworking, and I looked at like a router or something in one of my apps, and then suddenly, like 2 hours later, I got an ad for a router in one of the other apps, and I was like, how do they know that? Well, they know it because the app permissions are set for sharing, and I should have turned it off, but I didn't think about it. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It can get a little creepy, and in this day and age, we should be a little bit more attentive to how we're sharing things and kind of clamp down on that a little bit. As consumers, it's just about being informed and active.
Sharing is so important because I can't believe sometimes, Tom, how much of our lives we share online in a social media setting or whatever else. I'm sometimes blown away by, like, you really posted that? Even myself, I'll go back and I'll find something I wrote on Facebook 8, 9, 10 years ago. I'm like, I put that out there?
Well, you're jumping ahead to day 3, but I'll get there with you real quickly here for a second because that's one of the days that we have in the challenge. Our third day is on social media, and what we do is help people think about how you're sharing information on social media in terms of your privacy settings and who's following you and what you're tracking publicly. But we also encourage you to go back to your older social media posts and remember whether or not you want to keep them up, because in some cases, who you were 5 years ago is not what you want to be advertising to the world today. So it is a great opportunity to check those things and update them. And you can have some pretty hilarious moments where you realize, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that was still posted. And so it can be a little bit of a fun exercise also to go down memory lane. But the real purpose is to get some control over that. I'll also say, the second day, I'm sort of going out of order here, but the second day that we ask people that we have in the challenge is on passwords. So that's sort of passwords are the main linchpin of a lot of the security things that we have. A lot of people haven't done them properly. So we do teach you how to use password managers and update your password settings and understand how to kind of get that stuff organized as well.
Digital down documents, excuse me, digital documents is another one of the 5 days of the challenge. And I know, Tom, for me, while I'm comfortable with digital documents, there are times where I actually need to have that piece of paper in my hand as a document of what I've been doing.
I'm with you on this. I'm a paper guy myself, so I like to have things on paper, but I am also aware that paper brings risks with it, and there's strengths and weaknesses to each approach. So for many of us, the best way to do it is to have secure documents that you keep. You keep your paper documents. There's no reason to throw them out, but make sure that they're secured somewhere. Either, if they're sensitive, put them in a safe or put them in a safe deposit box so that they're well protected there. But also digitize them if you feel that there's an opportunity there to preserve them, more effectively, or in many cases, you're going to need access to those documents potentially when you're not in the same space. So if you're traveling and you may be, God forbid, you're injured and you need access to your health information, you can't access it. You can't have to go home to track down your insurance information or your medication information. If you're using an electronic medical record or a patient portal, that allows you to track that information and use it when you need it from wherever you are in the world. And then the other part of it is, for many of those documents, they're more secure online because you're protecting them with a password. And then finally, it allows you to share them in a way that's much more intentional. So there may be a specific document you want to share with your accountant, a different document you want to share with your wife, that's your health-related document, and you can create those sharing relationships. And we teach you how to do that on the last day, which is the Digital Vault Day, which is a tool for higher levels of security and sharing of your precious documents.
Now, I'm assuming that's something along the lines of maybe a thumb drive or an external hard drive, because I know from past bitter experience, if you save it on your computer's hard drive, there's a chance that when that computer crashes, you've lost your stuff.
Right. We actually recommend saving it in the cloud, which is what most of the digital document storage systems are using now. So for most people, in most situations, the preferred method is just to save it, quote unquote, in the cloud, which is not on your hard drive and is not on a separate thumb drive, because for that specific reason you just cited. Hard drives deteriorate over time. They get damaged, and some of those documents can be unavailable to you in the future. Thumb drives also potentially deteriorate and can be lost, which in many cases, you'll never be able to access that information again. Digital Vault save documents in the cloud, so they're not in a physical storage space in your home, and those cloud storage systems are considered very, very secure and very reliable. But it is essential that you manage your passwords correctly, which is why we have passwords come first in the 5-day challenge. Once you've got a clear password and you're using a digital vault or just saving your documents in a secure document storage space, we do think that saving them online is the best way to go for most people.
Tom, for listeners who want to learn more about the 5-day digital house cleaning challenge, where can they go?
We've set up a special web page for people to access. It's free of charge. You do not have to register or be an AARP member. It's at seniorplanet.org/digitalhousecleaning. And if you go to seniorplanet.org/digitalhousecleaning, you'll see the 5-day challenge laid out right there. Each day has some instructional materials so that you are up to date on what you need to know. There's a hotline listed right there on the web page. So if you have a question or you need a little extra help, you just call the hotline. And we have an email reminder you can sign up for, which will send you out your day's reminder for the next 5 days, telling you what the new topic is going to be. So it's meant to be fun. It's meant to be really simple, save you a lot of time, and make it convenient for people.
Tom Kamber, the Executive Director of Older Adults Technology Services from AARP. This sounds wonderful. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having us. It's something we've worked hard on this, so we're really excited to be doing it.